Competition is an essential aspect of our time here at STA. Whether it's in the classroom, playing sports, or participating in extracurriculars, we're always competing and attempting to outdo each other and become the best possible versions of ourselves. However, one of the harsh realities of competition is that there must always be a winner and a loser, someone who succeeds and someone who fails. During my time at STA, I failed a lot. In the classroom, on the sports field, and in relationships. Sports and other forms of public competition have often put a magnifying lens to these failures, but my failures are not unique, and I think it is safe to assume that anyone who has attended the school has experienced some kind of failure or disappointment. If I were to give a speech detailing every time I failed throughout my time at St. Thomas, we'd be here a lot longer than 5 minutes. So instead of wasting your time and embarrassing myself too much, I want to use this time to talk about one of my more unique screw-ups, one that changed my approach to failure and still haunts me to this day. My greatest and most public failure of my high school experience came during the middle of my sophomore year hockey season. The date was January 5th, 2017, and it was a cold winter night at Aldrich Arena in Maplewood, Minnesota. The St. Thomas Academy Cadets were playing the Hail Mary Pioneers. I had come off a streak of good JV games and was given the opportunity to suit up with the varsity team for the first time, a goal I'd been working towards my entire hockey career. I was nervous, but felt I was more than prepared and was eager to prove myself to my teammates and coaches. I received words of encouragement from my teammates and was instructed to keep things simple by my coach. The 30-second shift began pretty well. As the film would indicate, I made a good defensive play and a simple breakout pass, but it was all downhill from there. A Hail Mary player had retrieved the puck from their D zone and was skating fast down the wall, and I was determined to make a play. Instead of playing simply and cautiously as I'd been advised, I chose to be aggressive. I threw all my weight towards the opposing player with the intention of putting him through the boards, and I made contact. The only problem was the player turned his back towards me at the last second, and I did not have time to stop myself. I heard a loud groan from the crowd and saw the ref raise his hand out of the corner of my eye. My heart sank. I'd just gotten a check-in from behind penalty, my second in more than 9 years of hockey on my first varsity shift. I was in shock. All the years of hard work leading up to this point flew through my mind. The entire experience seemed like a bad dream, and I was trying to wake up. But it wasn't a dream. And on the way to the penalty box, I could see the shocked and disappointed faces of my teammates and coaches as feelings of guilt and embarrassment washed over me. When I sat down in the box, I immediately began brainstorming excuses to justify my actions, but quickly realized there were none. I came to the conclusion that my hockey career at St. Thomas was over, and I was thinking of where I wanted to transfer. As you can probably tell, I didn't end up transferring schools, and I can tell you my hockey career at St. Thomas didn't end. But that doesn't mean this event doesn't still affect me. I live in a constant struggle for balance between two opposing philosophies: accepting mediocrity by letting things go, or striving for greatness through dwelling on mistakes. I'm losing this battle to this day. The feelings of worthlessness and hopelessness that I experienced on that day nearly 2 years ago are still fresh in my mind. This is the case with most of my failures. I'm constantly reliving them every day, and as they cycle through my mind, I'm constantly reminding myself of what I did wrong with the painful realization that there's nothing I can do to change the past. I used to think that by living with this mentality, I was pursuing excellence and holding myself to a high standard. But in hindsight, I can say this obsession over the past has rarely led to success in future competitions. I allowed my obsession to cloud my decision-making, impair my ability to solve the problems that were causing my failures. This was an exhausting, unhealthy, and unsustainable way to live. It made me toxic to be around and ruined many friendships and opportunities for me, because I was often too distracted by the past to see the opportunities that were right in front of me. Today, I'm trying to change this pattern of thought, and I've recently changed my approach to failure and competition. I've been trying to achieve balance in my life by following the advice of Admiral William H. McRaven, who states, "If you let failures teach you and strengthen you, then you'll be prepared to handle life's toughest moments." I have come to the realization that although it is essential to learn from my mistakes, it is impossible for me to move forward to future competitions if my mind is stuck in the past. Thank you.